thinking about updating your bedroom this year, before you spend your hard-earned cash on all new furniture and decor, you've got to watch this video because I have some news. These 5 bedroom trends that have dominated for years are on their way out in 2025. My name's Carrie, a self-taught interior designer, as well as founder of the blog Penny Modern, which has been bringing you affordable modern home decor since 2019. I've pulled insights from top sources such as Nate Berkus, Elle Decor, and Real Simple to help you determine which of these 5 bedroom trends are fading fast and what you should do instead. And make sure you stick around until the end, because at the end, I'm gonna show you 3 bedroom trends that are coming in hot for 2025, and one is going to be extremely surprising. So stick around for that. Let's get started with that first bedroom trend, which is, I've got to tell you that the era of sharp lines and harsh angles is officially over. Furniture with very sharp corners as well as geometric shapes was very popular to give you a very modern look to your home, but now it's feeling a little bit cold as well as impersonal. According to Elle Decor, in 2025, we are going to be looking for comfort as well as softness in our homes. That is why these sharp angles are going by the wayside. Designer Kelly Wearstler says that rounded organic shapes are visually more calming, as well as they align with our desire for comfort, especially in your bedroom, right? And nature-inspired designs, which are gaining popularity this year. I wanted to give you guys some examples of how you could embrace this trend of the rounded organic shapes. And so I wanted to show you guys my headboard. This is definitely a more square edge and rectangular headboard. It does have the upholstery to give it a little bit of softness, and then it does have some edges where it's not completely sharp on the corner. But if you really want to embrace this trend, you can look for a rounded headboard. Also, you can try some of the scalloped edged headboards, and I'll show you guys some examples, and I'll link down in the description to a few of my favorites. If replacing your headboard isn't in the cards, I totally respect that. Here's some smaller scale ways to embrace this trend. One would be taking your nightstand and getting a different nightstand. So for example, mine has really sharp edges. You could get one of those nightstands that has more rounded shape to it. Also, if you have a lamp that has a square shade, you could do something simple like just changing the lamp shade to a more rounded circular shape. And then you also can get some arched mirrors that's gonna give some curves and softness to your room as well. You could either place that above your dresser or above your nightstands. There's something about rounded shapes that are just more harmonious, and it reminds us of things, even subconsciously, that we see in nature, like rolling hills or round rocks and things like that. So that's why it's gonna give you a sense of harmony and balance in your room. And who doesn't want to have a relaxing bedroom? Do you prefer sharp lines that we see in modern design, or do you like a more rounded shape? Let me know down in the comments below what you prefer. Now let's talk about the boho trend, or as I like to call it, boho overload. I've even gotten in on this trend, and I have this macrame throw pillow that I really love. I think it also could be coastal, but I would definitely call it, it's definitely boho inspired. And we've seen boho everything from macrame wall hangings to woven baskets, layered rugs, as well as wicker furniture everywhere. Boho did used to feel very cozy as well as carefree, but now it's feeling a little bit cluttered and a little bit chaotic when you have a little too much boho everywhere. Nate Berkus advises to take a curated approach to your decor to avoid overwhelming your space. The key to nailing boho is about simplicity. Think about just embracing 1 or 2 standout pieces, like this pillow, or maybe a really cool rattan basket or feature like that. And that way you're not going to overwhelm, and you're gonna keep things simple, and it won't feel like it's a cluttered space. Another example is if you really love that look of layered rugs and that bohemian vibe, maybe just try to do them in complementary colors, neutral colors that are gonna give you that bohemian relaxed vibe, but it's also not gonna be too busy and visually overwhelming. Another great way to modernize boho is to use a color palette that has terracotta, olive green, or mustard yellow. And we are gonna go into color palettes later, so make sure you stick around for that. And then those kind of colors are definitely going to complement some of those boho materials like a wicker or a jute. And then also you can incorporate some of those colors through things like throw pillows, bedding, or vases. Or you like me and you have a few boho pieces in your bedroom, let me know down in the comments below if you love the boho style and you're not gonna give it up, or if you're ready to make it more modern. For this next trend, I am actually a little bit sad that it's going out of style this year, and that would be bold accent walls. Bold accent walls have been a great way to add personality to your room, and people have used things like bold wallpaper, just a bold paint color, or even a really statement-making paneling. Interior designer Amber Lewis of Amber Interiors says that accent walls can just make a lot of busyness in a room and really disrupt the harmony of the entire room. The key word now is texture. See, accent walls can really just overwhelm the space visually, and they can make it feel actually smaller, as well as the accent wall can just make it very busy in the room, especially if you have a busy pattern in your wallpaper and your eye is not gonna know where to go. Plus, if the colors that you choose for your accent wall don't really go with the rest of your decor or with the rest of the room, it can really make your space feel not cohesive and very disjointed. So instead, for bedrooms, instead of seeing busy, bold patterns, we're seeing very subtle textured walls that are gonna add a sense of depth, but they're not going to be as striking as a bold accent wall. You could try a plaster style wall treatment, or even something like a lime washing technique to add that sense of texture to your walls. You also can get wallpaper that just has a very subtle texture, like a grass cloth, and that's definitely going to be an alternative to accent walls. And I would also advise that you actually wallpaper the entire room instead of just one wall. If you love the colors that accent walls can give you, you might want to consider actually doing a monochromatic, almost color drenching to your room. And that would be you're painting your walls, all 4 walls, as well as the trim in the same color, and maybe using different sheens. You could do maybe a eggshell on the wall and a satin for the trim. You even could have bedding that matches that color to get that fully enveloping, colorful look to your room. Putting color on all of your walls is definitely that modern take on the accent wall. Instead of just one wall, it's all of them. Another option is to let your furniture or decor do the talking. You could get a very large piece of art that's gonna add a lot of color to your room, and so that would be much easier to change out if your style changes in the future, or maybe you wanna change your color palette. If you're feeling very creative, you could try a DIY textured paint technique and add that to your walls. Again, you're gonna wanna do all 4 walls. You also could try doing some panels in terms of either wainscoting or even a fabric covered panel or upholstered walls. And that could be a way to add that wow factor to your room instead of your typical accent wall. I'd love to know your opinion on accent walls. Do you love them and you're gonna hang on to them, or are you happy to see them go? Let me know down in the comments below what you think. If you are watching this because you're interested in doing your own bedroom makeover, or you want to do a little renovation on your bedroom, I have a great free resource for you, and it is my room makeover planner and checklist. This will help you figure out what you want to keep, what you need to get, help you build a budget, even plan your layout, and you can download your copy over at my website. It's pennymodern.com/freebies, and the link is down in the description. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, and that is gray. So for years, gray was the ultimate neutral. It was very chic, very versatile, and really went with everything. But now gray and cool tone colors are taking a backseat to a warmer color palette. According to Real Simple, warmer tones that are earthy like taupe or beige, terracotta, sage green are definitely going to the forefront, whereas cooler color tones are taking a back seat because we want a more warmer, inviting, and cozier space, especially in the bedroom. But don't worry, you don't have to repaint your entire bedroom or get rid of every single thing that's gray. You can start incorporating decor or bedding that's in those warmer colors. So for example, I have this great throw blanket that I throw on my bed, and that is a warm cream color. You also can get things like throw pillows that are in some of those earthier tones, as well as curtains. You also could change your bedding and even incorporate things like a vase or something with more natural materials or wood tones. What are your thoughts about gray? Do you still love it, or are you glad to see it go. Let me know down in the comments below. I'm thinking about actually recovering this fabric headboard in a different color. Let me know what color you would use in this bedroom if you were me. The next trend that's gonna be out in 2025 is severely or overly minimalist bedrooms. Minimalism has definitely been a trend, especially in luxury decor and luxury homes. But people are feeling that the stark minimalism with no decorations and hardly any furniture just doesn't give you a cozy vibe that we're looking for now. It's not about getting rid of minimalism entirely. We definitely don't want to go for a cluttered look, right? But Bobby Burke, a famous interior designer, says that using textures and layering textures is going to give you simplicity as well as coziness and comfort. You can add a variety of textures to your space by having a textured throw blanket, textured throw pillows, and also even a statement lamp that's going to give a ton of personality to your space. You also can try mixing contrasting textures. So you could have a smooth linen duvet cover and then have a very chunky textured knit throw over it. Maybe in the same color, maybe variations of a color. I have the white and the off-white there, so you could do variations or gradients of a different color and use that to add a lot of texture as well as make your bedroom seem more inviting and cozy by having touchable surfaces like that textured chunky throw. Now, as promised, here are those 3 bedroom trends that are coming in hot in 2025 that you definitely want to consider if you're doing a bedroom makeover. But first, if you are interested in learning how to design your home like a pro, but on a budget you can actually afford, make sure you hit subscribe because that's what we're all about here at Penny Modern. One of those trends that's coming in hot in 2025 is called double drenching. So think of that like color drenching, where you're taking the room and painting it, all the ceiling, the trim, the walls, all the same color. This is double drenching. So you're actually taking variations of a color. So it might be sage green on the wall and then a dark green on the trim. Or maybe you're having a dark blue and a dark green that you're pairing together, and those 2 colors are very close on the color wheel. It creates this really cozy, inviting, and it really envelops you in terms of the color and the feeling that it gives you when you walk into the room. Another trend that's coming in hot in 2025 is actually cherry red. Cherry red bedrooms and the searches that people are doing online are up significantly in this past year. And that is according to both Elle Decor as well as Pinterest. People are looking for how to embrace this color in their bedroom. It could be through painting the walls, adding bedding, or maybe even just adding accents. That cherry red vibe is going to give a sense of playfulness to bedrooms. It's also going to add energy, and it's going to make it more fun and inspiring to be in your space. To dip your toes in this trend, you could just try doing a cherry red throw pillows and blanket, or also maybe having a vase or some flowers and some artwork. You could try doing something like painting your walls and your curtains if you're really feeling adventurous as well. It's definitely not for me. I'm gonna say there is no way I'm gonna do red in my bedroom, but I wanna know what you think. Are you thinking cherry red will be something that you wanna try? Let me know down in the comments below. As promised, here is that most surprising trend that is on its way into bedrooms in 2025. So that is, drumroll please, separate bedrooms. Apparently, according to the International Housewares Association, 1 in 5 couples is actually sleeping in separate bedrooms now. Think my grandparents used to do this, and so it used to be very trendy back in the day, and apparently now it's coming back in style. Now people are able to have separate bedrooms, and they're doing adjoining bedrooms, and each person can decorate their own bedroom in their own decor style. That might be something worth considering if you have a big enough home. I live here in Southern California, and most people I know don't have a big enough home to do that. but a lot of people out in other areas of the country definitely might have room for this trend. If you do go for separate bedrooms, you are gonna wanna have some kind of a cohesive color palette or design style between the two rooms so they don't look completely disjointed. If you do wanna do this trend, make sure that you have some elements that are similar in both bedrooms. So I'm curious, how about you and your partner? Do you guys have separate bedrooms? Do you love it? I think it's a trend that is not a bad idea if you really need to prioritize sleep, especially if one person snores and the other one doesn't, or maybe one person is a very light sleeper like me, and maybe somebody is like my husband who is a very deep sleeper and he falls asleep in 5 minutes. I could see the advantages of having separate bedrooms, and I'm curious, what do you think about this trend? Now that you know which bedroom trends are on the way out in 2025, don't you want to know how to get a luxurious and high-end looking bedroom? Well, I have a great next video for you to watch. It's right here, and this is going to help you get that high-end, luxurious looking bedroom, but on pretty much any budget. I'll see you in the next video, and don't forget to download your room makeover planner over at pennymodern.com/freebies.